All right, we got to pause for a second because of the lag, you know, the little early lag.
Yep.
Leenock 1110 speed, Beasty only 5. Okay, and let's begin in 3, 2, 1. All right. What's up, everyone? We have our first matchup of the day, Beasty versus Leenock. Beasty as the French, Leenock as the English on the map Bohemia. As a quick TLDR of the map is, think of this almost like a pretty open, Arabia, except there's only 2 stone croppings for each player. This is actually, I think, the first time I've casted this map without one of the players being Mongols, ironically enough. I mean, that's probably wrong, but, I'm going to say that anyway. And co-casting with me is Mr. Core W. Let's hear that voice, Core W.
Hello, hello. At what time are you at? Because I have no pause button.
Yeah, you won't have a pause button because I have control of it.
I'm at 1 minute and 3, 4,
Yep.
5.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we're
perfect.
synced up. It's a that's the nice thing about the group feature. Whoever loads into the replay gets in control of it, and so whenever I pause, it'll pause for you.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so English. I actually, when you said it was English versus French, I thought Leenock was going to be the one with French, but it's actually Beasty. So that's a. I mean, I know Beasty likes French, or at least plays them a little bit. And
Yeah, I think French is just a super solid civ right now, right?
not as bad as before. I don't know how pro players are viewing them. I don't know how to view them personally. I've always, even when French was weak, I felt like I kind of struggled versus them just because I didn't play them very often. So I think that really, and I don't make walls, so it's kind of both.
Yeah, and Beast has a good back gold. He's not getting man at arm rushed, but even if, he has a pretty safe gold in the back, so not looking too bad for him.
Yeah, and that's kind of the nice thing, right? I feel like whenever I play against English, what's the one thing I get? I
Forward
get
gold.
I get
And
forward
man at
gold.
arm rushed.
Yeah, and then you get men at arm rushed, exactly.
And if you have backline gold, you're not getting man at arm rushed. It's always the same.
Now, when it comes to this matchup in particular, I feel like it's a pretty balanced matchup. I think it might be slightly French favored, actually, but like when I say slight, I mean very, very slight if I was to favor either civ in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree. It's like 52-48 maybe.
Yeah, because it feels like
I've-
English, if it gets to Imperial Age, English is going to feel really good, but when it comes to that feudal castle age, it's a little different because they have to deal with archers and knights, early knights, I should say, more so specifically.
Yeah, it comes a lot down to if you make a small mistake that can snowball really hard, especially against French. So
Yeah, because if your army gets caught out of position and there's knights, it's not getting away. Whereas,
yeah,
if you have knights and you get caught out of position, you can just run away and you're gonna be fine.
exactly. Yeah, and the English army is so slow, so if you are out of position, it can end up really bad.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of I feel like it's favored. That's why I think it's slightly favored to French because they get a little bit more vision. They don't have to worry about the mobile army because yeah, English doesn't have a mobile army. Their army is slow.
Yeah,
But
and they also make villages faster, right? So they will pull ahead economically. So English kind of has to do some damage in the early game.
yeah, and the nice thing is about being against English on this map as French, right? You're going to be able to take the deer all across the map. The boar, well, the boar might be a little risky actually because it's so far, in the middle. But in general, you have these deer, the berries, so you don't have to like rush farms or anything. Whereas as English, I'd be kind of surprised if you went for any of the deer out in the map.
Yeah, but Leenock has a good second TC spot, right? Next to the boar, the gold, the woodline, and then you secure the deer behind it as well, kinda. So if he's going for a second TC, that might be a good location for him.
That's true, but that's the question. Are we going to see a second TC from Leenock? I'm suspecting not. I'm kind of
I mean, he
expecting him to
still
do
has
a bit
3
of
guys on
pressure.
gold. He's going for wheelbarrow already. He's most likely grabbing the double broadex, and then he will probably be aggressive.
That's what I expect as well, although we aren't seeing a barracks come out, so, maybe he is going to make... Oh, nope, there we go. Barracks coming out
Yeah,
now.
but Beastie is already on stone, so he is going for that second TC.
Which I don't think is surprising. I think that's what you would expect in this matchup especially.
Yeah,
Because you're
but
not...
he already scouted the barracks, so he is aware of what Leenock is doing.
Yep. Leenock scouts the first knight. Again, no surprise. He shouldn't take any damage from this. And that knight's probably going to go straight for the gold line.
Yeah, but I expect Leenock to go off gold here in a second because he's grabbing the double products now. Maybe he's going for the horticulture as well. But yeah, he's going off gold now. He knows the night is coming, so...
Well, he
Oh,
was, and
never
then he
mind.
decided not
Yeah,
to. I think he's
yeah,
waiting
he
till the
went
last
back to it.
moment.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he is tracking the night, so he's aware. Yeah, and
Yeah,
now he's
it's
pulling back off.
yeah. I mean, it is Leenock. He was one of the first players in the game at the pro level that he likes his ecotechs even before the buff. He was always getting them in every game that I would watch of him. So I'm not surprised if that was his goal.
Yeah, and where do you attack now as the French? Like, he's getting food under the TC, now he's going for second town center. But one spearman is already on the field, so yeah, not
Yep.
finding too much damage.
And a second one on the way. That's the nice thing about English is the fact that you don't have to get that spearman upgrade, right? The moment you have that barracks in feudal age, you got the upgrade, you make the spears, you're good to go.
Yeah, and that's the only civ in the game that doesn't need the spearman upgrade, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's a downside in Dark Age, but it's a buff or it's a nice thing in feudal age.
I'd say it's a pretty big advantage in Dark Age because you have man at arms and no other civ has man at arms.
That's true. I was more talking specifically when when you want those spears on the rare occasion instead of the men at arms, like against horsemen. Like, more explicitly against Mongols, I guess I should say.
Where would you put your second town center as Beasty here?
As Beastie? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I feels like the deer is just way too naked. There's no other resource by it, so
I think you go for the boar and you also secure the woodline with it.
yeah, that could be a good one right there. Because odds are you're not going to die at any sort of ram push, so that's probably the best spot. I definitely would not like it on the deer personally. I think.
Yeah, and Leenock is placing his TC on the gold, so
Oh,
not going
interesting.
out too far. But I think you could definitely place it on a deer here. It's like half a screen away, and it still kind of protects the gold. So
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I thought maybe he was going to do it on the right side of the gold at least. Like, I get not going too far forward, but, being in front of the gold feels a little nicer than behind, but either way.
But again, yeah, he's English, already placing 3 farms, and we'll just ignore the food on the map, most likely.
Yeah, which is what we expected, right? Because he doesn't want to deal with the raids. That's what, ends up happening. You get raided to death. So, another reason not to. And we do see blacksmith upgrades already coming in for BC, having the +1 ranged. And I just realized he is not, unless I'm blind, he has not dropped his second town center yet.
No,
He's still
not
waiting
yet.
on the
He's
wood.
still missing some wood, yeah. Yeah, but the ranged armor upgrade against English is really important, I guess, because if you dive under the town center, try to get one villager, you might almost lose your first knight already.
Yeah,
you don't have the upgrade.
And that's the thing, right? I don't think BC scouted the stone at all. At least I don't remember seeing it. So I don't think he even knew that Leenock was going for 2 TC.
No, but he will see it soon because his archers are close, so...
I think he already did see it. He had the scout with his knight.
Yeah, and Leenock is just going... Never mind, he's just pulling 5 of gold. I thought he's going for Castle Age, but... yeah, maybe they try to battle it out in Feudal Age.
Yeah, and BC is making that second TC on the one spot, that deer pack over there. That's literally just it. It's just going to be deer. So,
I mean, it secures the front, but yeah, not too much else.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred the boar location, but either way, it's a second TC. It's all that matters. Oh,
but he's going for the boar right now with villagers.
2 villagers killed for that loss by Leenock. 3 villagers.
The third one might go down. Yeah.
That's a pretty nice trade. He did lose a horseman, but I think BC's more than fine with that.
That's a trade I take every day. 1 horseman for 3 villagers.
This early in the game? Oh yeah, 100%. And BC is actually taking the boar as we talk. Leenock did scout that, but I don't think Leenock's going to be able to punish this at all. He's making,
No, he's also going a tower, and
yeah,
should be really safe here.
And he does have 6 villagers on gold, so it looks to me like Leenock is definitely looking more towards a castle age than a long feudal age.
Yeah, but Beasty could maybe push that second town center, right? He has a deer and he has boar, so his food income will go really crazy. So he could be maybe push the town center. But again, it's English, so pushing a town center never feels good, right?
Exactly. I was going to say, I mean, you could, but I think it's risky. And I feel like in this matchup specifically, I feel like when French becomes the scariest is Castle Age with the Royal Institute. Because those knights, get 310 health. Very, very scary, even as English.
Yeah, but do you go for a third town center here as French? Because you are aware of the fact that the English player will be on free TC as soon as he hits Castle Age, so you're gonna be a little bit behind in eco.
I don't think so. I don't think it's worth spending the extra food on that. I think it's also... I mean, I'm pretty sure the game plan generally as French here is you want to try to kill them in Castle Age, usually. Because if it gets Imperial, that's when I feel like this matchup, becomes better and better for English compared to Feudal and Dark or Castle Age.
Yeah, for sure. The longer it goes, the better it gets. But even French Imperial is not that bad.
No, it's not, but it's still English Imperial, right?
Yeah.
Enclosures, all that fun stuff that English gets, and there's no trade, so it's not like BC can start trading to make up that difference. But we do see an Age 3 actually from Beasty first with the Royal Institute.
Yeah, and then he will just wait for his upgrades and will probably dive Leenock here.
That's what I'm expecting. A nice castle timing, and Leenock is actually very far away from Castle Age. He's been spending all his food on units.
Yeah, but Beastie has no standing army. He has one scout, and that's it.
Yeah, but will Leenock be able to punish that in time? I mean, we do only see one, the School of Cavalry and the archery range, so he could. He could definitely push him off this boar.
He could push him off this boar, and he could even take down that second TC, in my opinion, because, again, Beastie is not a single standing unit. And if he's making 2 Rams here, how is he defending that?
That is
and
true.
And even if he gets his Castle Age upgrades, he has 1 archery range and 1 stable. So by the time he puts out the units, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks
There's
like Leenock...
definitely a window.
Yeah, I agree with you. There is a window. The question is, will Leenock realize it? He does actually have Siege Engineering queued after his +1 melee, so it looks like Leenock is intending on doing a ram timing attack here.
Yeah, I think that's correct. That's the correct call, because Beastie is just throwing down a second stable. There are 12 spearmen already on the field, so getting him off the deer and after that off the boar could be really good here. And he's just gonna dive the tower here with his spearmen, and yeah, he will take down the tower and will kill 5 villagers most likely.
Yeah, and so here's the question: is Leenock? Let's see. Leenock looks like he might be saving now. He's done making units. Will he be able to? Will he take out that second town center, or is he just going to do some light harassment, get to Castle Age, and then, and just play it safe? And Leenock actually did take that deer, by the way, outside of his base.
I think you should take down that second TC because again, there's 1 knight and 2 archers on the field, and he has like.
Yeah, but remember, Leenock doesn't know that. He has no idea what BC. He knows BC went fast castle, but he doesn't know the unit composition or what Beastie's doing here.
Yeah, he also lost his scout, so he's playing completely blind, and Beastie's already going for the relic. So if Leenock is not finding a good damage here, he might be in a lot of trouble, because by the time the upgrades kick in for the French and he has an army again, he could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and we're seeing more archers, more knights come out. Now, we don't have royal bloodlines being queued yet, so, Leenock still has time. And BC has not gotten his second ranged upgrade either, so as of right now, these knights only have the veteran advantage and nothing else.
Yeah, but Leenock is full walling himself, so he's aware of the potential push. He's even making a little bit more units to defend himself at home. But he's gonna age here in just a second.
Yep.
Probably. Where would you put that King's Palace? Because putting it forward is kind of risky, I think.
But there's not really much else you can put it. I feel like it's fine on the second major wood line is probably where I'd put it. I mean, you could ideally put it towards the back where the gold and stone are, but that is kind of a trek as well. So I wouldn't hate either option personally.
I like it where he's putting it, because if you put it to the front wood line, the potential of losing that one is really high. Because Royal Bloodlines is in queue, second ranged armor is in queue, and these knights will not take any damage of the town centers or the longbows.
Yeah, and Leenock took a safe King's Palace, even further behind than either option, which is again fine as well. There's not really too many positions you can put the King's Palace where I'd have been like, man, that just feels like a big mistake. I mean, unless he did it in the middle of the map.
I like it here. It's safe in the back, so.
Oh, and look at Leenock being very smart here. He had 3 longbows guarding the relic. He knows that BC's trying to take the relic, so kind of denies it for now. Of course, 1 knight will be able to kill that, but...
Yeah.
Just a little denial, a little annoyance.
But Beasty is already setting up his production, mining stone. So he will put down a keep in between this production, and then he will just get the discounted units and will probably try to kill here Leenock in the castle age.
Yeah, and just to point that out again, he's only going to have these 2 stone croppings. So he's got enough for, I think, 2 keeps is about all he can make. And then he'll be out of stone. The only way he'll be able to do any more is if he buys it, because he doesn't have the guild hall. So
Guild hall, yeah.
So without the guild hall, he has no way to get stone after his last croppings go.
But as French, like having that 1 keep at home for the discount is like all you want in the early game, right? You could still go for the Red Palace at some point to get map control, but you can see Beasty. He's even going for the berries of Leenock here in the north.
Yep, I mean he's
taking all the food on the map.
Yeah, and this is what we'd expect from French, right? Because French typically has that map control. And we see a relic denied again. We see Leenock trying to go for a relic, but I don't know if he'll be able to get any.
I don't think so. Beasty already has 2, bringing the 3rd one home, and the other 2, he has the map control now. I don't think Leenock should be able to get a single relic here.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't feel like he'll be able to. Maybe, I mean, he does have a pretty large army compared to Beasty. You know, Beasty doesn't have any area, you know, he has no mangonels or nothing. So in a straight up fight, I think Leenock wins pretty handily. But, well, we'll see. He's just trying to go out with the monk without any sort of defense or guard. So, but then Beasty's moving away, so maybe he can sneak it. Oh,
yeah,
and
potentially.
Leenock knows about the north berries. I think his tower can see it. He's going to go snipe these villagers while taking the relic at the same time. Or no. Oh, now he knows. He was actually going to go for the sacred site denial, I think.
And again, the French is not ahead economically, right? He lost 9 villagers, and Leenock is ahead. So at this point, he just has to hold, right? Maybe a keep would help him a lot here to get the network of citadels upgrade and protect his farms. And then he just has to survive. Because it's the 17th minute and the French player didn't do too much damage. So I think overall he's in a pretty good position here.
Oh yeah, I think Leenock's in a great spot. And he's doing a very good job. He didn't bring his whole army up to the north. He actually has a decent chunk at home. So the knights are forced back. He's probably going to try to repair the wall, take care of the little archers there.
And he even managed to get 1 relic. So overall, yeah, he's in a great spot.
Yeah, this is definitely a... you know, he's already doing better than I thought in terms of getting a relic. He caught a single... It's 1 relic, but 1's better than 0.
Yeah, and look at the army difference. It's 70 to 34. And... yeah.
Yeah,
He lost 5 villagers. He's in a great spot here.
I would say Leenock's playing this really, really well. I mean, I feel like he's in a good spot. He's done a great farm transition. Decaps the sacred site.
And Beasty on the other side, he has 3 farms at this point. So he really has to invest a lot of villagers on wood right now to get his farm transition going. And you can just look at the supply. It's 170 to 120. So
yeah, oh man.
I think Leenock could even push out at this point.
Yeah, he's just got to deal with these knights. And so these knights are kind of Beasty's saving grace. Once these knights are taken care of, Beasty, I bet Leenock's going to move out. And we are seeing a siege workshop coming out, though, for Beasty. So he should have mangonels soon.
And not having textiles here as Leenock is a really big mistake. Textiles give you so much room to survive with villagers with like low HP. But right now he's losing so many builds. And
yeah,
imagine he had textiles here.
Yeah, exactly. And he went from 20, you know, he went from a small villager lead to now he's behind by almost 20 villagers.
Yeah, and that's what should never happen, right? He can either garrison the builds. Yeah, he took way too much damage here. But he's still in a good spot, even though he lost that many builds. He's on 3 town centers, so he's not that worried about. And these knights will go down sooner or later.
Oh, and, yeah. There's only 2 knights left.
And even if Beasty is picking up a few more villagers here, it's not the worst trade, right? If you're on 3 town centers and your opponent is losing 10 royal knights.
Well, just look at that military. 92 from Leenock to the 32 of Beasty. I feel like if Leenock, and he's pushing out, if Leenock pushes right now, I think Beasty's just going to die. I don't think he can hold this. This is a huge army.
Yeah. Exactly. He's still working on his farm transition. And yeah, Leenock's economy is kind of set up, even though he lost so many builds right now. He just has to push right now.
Yeah, and Beasty's right. Like, okay, he does have a home keep, so he made his 2 keeps, one at home, one on the gold in the middle. You know, trying to go for a sacred site kind of denial there. But oh man, this army, if Leenock, that keep might scare Leenock, but if Leenock plays it correctly, ooh, Leenock's being forced back home though.
Look what Beasty's doing. He's raiding from the south, he's raiding from the north, he broke down 2 walls, and Leenock is losing more and more villagers, and he's not noticing.
Yeah, and okay, Leenock decides, screw it, he's going with his main army. He's just going to use reinforcements to deal with this. I think that's the correct choice here.
Yeah, you never want to pull back your entire army, right? But again, it's a lot of army in Beasty's base, and he has 2 mangonels right now, so...
Oh, nice
and he
dodge.
has a keep at home.
Yeah.
So, Leenock can't attack here. He's going for ram stride now. Quadruple ram coming up. And...
Yeah, and you know, Beasty's feeling it though. Yeah, he knows he's doing a lot of economic damage, so he's feeling good there. But
look at the villager numbers. 42 villagers went down, and more are going down. So Beasty's doing an excellent job here in raiding the economy of the English player.
yeah, and he knows if he can hold this attack, he wins the game at this point,
Yeah.
or at least he'll be in a very good position to win the game.
But again, these English army is no joke, right? That's like 80 units up front. Leenock has 111 total army. He really has to lose some army at this point to get some more villagers on the field.
Yeah, because he's almost maxed. 191 to 153.
And he really has to re-wall these walls. There's still 2 openings, and if Beasty's getting more and more knights into that could be really scary.
Yeah, 4 mangonels now. Okay, I think this has gotten to the point where I don't know if Leenock's going to be able to push into this.
Probably not, no. He should probably try to take down the keep on the sacred side at least with the 4 rams. And yeah, he has to work for his own keep.
Yeah, because he's trying to take an engagement, but man, 4 mangonels is just too much. And a keep. I just don't think he can take this fight anymore.
Yeah, good players can dodge 1 or 2 mangonels, but at 4 mangonels, it's kind of too much. You will get big hits at some point, and it's going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, and that's all it takes. And more villagers coming down for Leenock. You know, he's got a massive army, but you know, the only way he can take this fight now is if Leenock split apart his army and flanked from 3 or 4 different angles.
Yeah, but look at this massive Leenock here. It's so much, but he really needs Springles here. Because these... Look at the map! Oh! Big mango hits coming in.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I feel like BC might be premature with this move out. I'm not sure yet.
Nah, I think this is a hard winning. Look at the army count.
Yeah.
He was up 110, now he's down to 70, and he's going down quickly.
Yeah, the mangonels are just too much.
Yeah. And the army count is equaled out, and the villager count is not, so... Great game here.
Yep, and that's kind of where it goes. You know, Leenock went from a very good position, but BC, you know, being BC, did the right thing. He got the mangonels out, got good engagement, and yeah, and now Springles are coming out, but a little too late.
Yeah, I think at this point you can honestly surrender, because you lost so much army, you lost so many villagers, and even though you're on 3 town centers, and these French knights are no joke, and the 4 mangonels are still a thing, right? He's making trebuchets right now, so he will start sieging here. And yeah, Leenock is in a really bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, considering the situation, you know, BC played it really, really well. The raids just really did their work. He did a great job not overcommitting, you know, staying behind his keep, getting those mangonels, and then from there, you know, Leenock still has a nice large army, but he is down by 40 villagers.
Yeah, but this is such a Leenock thing. There are so many games where he's not grabbing textiles, and these 25 hit points on the villagers each, that makes such a big difference.
It really
Especially
does.
when you play versus knights, because they charge and 1 hit you. And if you have textiles, you have 1 additional hit you can tank. So, yeah.
Oh, no, it's noticeable. I know. I forget textiles a lot. I just forget it exists. So I understand Leenock's kind of struggle there. But it, yeah, it is very noticeable. And yeah, Mangonel's doing their work.
Yeah, and also Sacred Side victory is approaching, right? So BC is controlling the left big gold. I expect him to just drop the red palace on the right gold. And secure both big golds. He has Sacred Side countdown. He has an eco lead. He has an army lead. And yeah.
And 13 knights in Leenock's base at the moment.
Yeah, it's just going downhill from here for Leenock.
Yeah, he just has no way to deal with those mangonels. And, you know, we're seeing Leenock trying everything he can. I think he sold something with the market and he GG's.
Yeah. Really good game from BC here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Leenock started out super strong. Like he was in a very good spot, and then BC doing BC things just kind of out multitasked him a little bit, and kind of forced Leenock to attack. But he was prepared for that with mangonels, and
And auto multitasking Leenock is nothing you can do that easily, right? He is a really fast player, and losing that many villagers, you can really see he's not in shape at the moment.
yeah, and we're seeing, if you look at the eco count, BC had a 10,000 gold lead. Leenock's only lead was he had a little bit more food by about almost exactly 1,000.
Yeah, but you don't need the gold that much as English, right? You make
No,
man at
that's
arms, you make spearmen, you make longbows, and maybe a few crossbow. So you're not playing a heavy gold army comp. But I feel like if Leenock had 1 or 2 Springles in that fight, that could have been such a big difference.
Oh yeah, he has Springolds in that fight. I think he can take that. Can probably take that game and win there. All right, and it looks like they're already in game 2. So let me just invite you to group. All right, and we're just gonna go straight into game 2. There's no reason to delay. Let us go. All right, we've got Rus versus Rus versus Mongols on Tempe.
Rus versus Mongols. I think this is like a heavy Rus favorite matchup, right? There's no market, so Silver Tree is not an option. I mean, it's still an option, and people used to make some traders even though there are no markets, but I think this is a heavy Rus favorite matchup.
Yes, I agree. I feel like this is a matchup where, because what are you going to do with Mongols? You can't tower rush. You can't spearman rush. You're not going to do anything with those. So you got to play a normal Dark Age into feudal. And then,
I mean, you can technically tower rush, but it's not doing that much, right?
yeah, it's not going to do anything,
It's
at
like
least.
tower rushing English. It can work if the player's not paying attention, but then on the other side, you're playing against Beasty. He's playing Ruse. He has like 2 or 3 scouts at least, so he will
Yeah,
be aware of what's going on.
exactly. And it's just, and then there's the militia as well, right? So once he gets aged up, if there's a tower going down, still militia.
Yeah,
So,
and they have the extra torch damage, so I think 4 militia can already take down 1 tower.
really? Wait, even if there's 5 units
Really?
inside?
Maybe that's close, but if there is no unit inside, I'm pretty sure they can because they have extra torch damage, right?
Do they? I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know I don't know the militia stats actually. I just know they're pretty good. What's up, Al Magical D? Wait, how many more rounds today? There's a good chance today's tournament is going to have a bit of a schedule shift, um, because yeah, it's going to be super late for the Europeans. So I'm not really anticipating we're going to get through all the way to the losers bracket. What I might end up doing instead is we might just end up having to move a couple series to next Saturday. Like, so we'll probably finish out a winner's bracket tomorrow if we can. That's the problem. I'm not sure if we'll be able to because of, or, not in a timely manner. But yeah, because I mean, if we look at it, it's, I mean, for that losers bracket, Vortex has such a weight for him. And I'm trying to think who's in the top 8 tomorrow for, we might have to look at that after this game, but
For the Conquerors Cup, for
no,
the Octagon,
Octagon, yeah.
Beastie, Marine Lord, Urk, Salami, Donardi, uh,
So Vortex and
Anotan.
Lucifron aren't there, right?
No,
So we might end up.
Wham and Puppy. So both Canadians.
Okay, so both
Marine
Canadians
Lord,
are there.
Beastie.
I forgot about
Yeah.
Wham and Puppy.
Yeah, you can forget about them. They're not that big of a factor in this game.
Yeah, we'll have to see what to do about that one. But we'll have to do some rescheduling. I don't think the players are going to want to play all their games today, and I can't really blame them. Okay, we're going to start game 2 in just a moment here.
I mean,
But
it's only the there's only Marine Lord and Puppy and B versus Beastie, and then the winner's bracket is done, right? And the loser bracket is best of 3. So
yeah, I'm just thinking about the losers bracket here because I know Vortex is asking to see if he can play his tomorrow, and I think I'm
he
okay.
asked you already?
Yeah. Well, because he's just waiting. He's got to wait for this match plus Leenock or Leenock or BC versus Lash. So
Yeah, that's a long wait.
I guess it depends. Okay, like if BC lost this series, even though I don't expect it, that would totally throw my plan into the wrenches. Like BC winning is almost a necessity for what I think what for things to go smoothly.
Yeah, but again, like this series is probably over in an hour. Lash Leenock won't take longer than an hour and a half, and then Vortex is up already. So that's like 11 o'clock. Oh no, it's 11 o'clock already. Never mind.
Yeah, let me. Oh, I gotta update the scoreboard. So 1-0 Beastie. I'll talk with Vortex about it here after this game. Okay, so we have Leenock as the Mongols on the map Tempe versus Beastie's Rus on the bottom left. And for those who don't know, I've said this many times, think of Tempe as a better Altai and with an extra Sacred Site and 2 extra boards is kind of the short version of what this map is. And
exactly.
Kind
and
of.
Leenock is kind of opening like he wants to tower rush. He is gathering a lot of wood. He already has 150 wood in the bank. And he could drop a barracks here.
Okay, so I didn't see exactly what Leenock did in the beginning, but very odd kind of placement. You know, he placed the Uvu, which makes sense, but then he kind of has 5 villagers on a random straggler tree all the way to the north.
I think he's going for double pasture here. He's gathering 300 wood, dropping down double pasture, and then he's gonna go fast castle here, is my guess.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a decent spawn here for the Mongol, right? You have your Uvu in your kind of towns in the range. The gold is close. Yeah, and we can already see the first pastures getting dropped.
Yeah. So yep, as you said, double pasture or at least 1 pasture. If he was gonna go double, he needs 12 more. Leenock needs 12 more wood.
Maybe he's going with a tower on the gold. That's why he has the extra wood.
Yeah, I mean that's possible.
Yeah, and Leenock also opened double scout because if you play versus Rus with Mongols, the Khan is obviously a pain in the ass to kill the deer and the wolves. So.
Yep. Yes, this game is live. This is a live series. Yeah, and then so we see the Khan kind of moving up here. We see, you know, trying to deny some of the deer, but ooh, okay, denied 1 deer.
Yeah, but he's giving up on the northern part. BC has 2 scouts going there, and he will get a good bounty overall here, I think.
Yeah, and we do see, to no surprise for anyone, we have the Kremlin coming out. Very common, you know, response by, or this is the most common landmark now. You don't see the Golden Gate anyway. The Golden Gate is like a mystery, or it's like it's disappeared, even though it's still a good landmark.
Yeah, and you can see down 4 villagers at the 3rd minute mark. That is a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot. By the way, thank you very much, Ozzy, for the raid. Hope you had a nice long day. And welcome everyone. We're in game 2 of Leenock versus BC right now, and the winner of this will be playing B next. Would you check the bounty for Beastie at the moment? I'd be curious what he's got.
Yeah, give me a second. He's at 215.
Okay, so he's at 215, so that's only, you know, almost at 250, but not quite. He's gonna get a wolf.
He's at 240 now, and if he's moving his scouts, he will get another wolf here. So he should be able to get 250.
Yeah, I'm expecting 250. You know, Leenock sees this, but he has no way to really stop this. And
no, there's no way. He's gonna lose his scout if he's not paying attention.
Yep, and oh!
Leenock actually got it.
Leenock actually denied it. A little misclick there. What ended up happening is BC clicked the sheep instead of the wolf, and that kind of screwed him up there. But hey, it happens to everyone.
Yeah, but he should still be able to get a boar, and that will give him the 250 he needs.
Yeah, the bounty.
Should be fine overall. Yeah, 80 bounty.
And we see actually a stable coming out first for Leenock. Okay, so not a barracks, which is interesting. We're going to see a second TC coming out from Roos. You know, very expected. Everything's going about how you'd expect in this matchup so far, except for maybe the stable. I'm a little surprised at the stable.
Yeah. I don't see a reason for the stable, but
Oh, another wolf. So actually, there we go. That'll put Beasty at 265 bounty, as chat likes to say.
yeah.
And no,
don't forget, there are 4 boars on the map. If he kills all 4 boars, he will get above 500 bounty.
yeah, if he gets all 4. The question is, can he get all 4?
I mean, what stops him from getting all 4 is the question. He has to make 1 knight, and he has 3 scouts to tank. So he should be fine.
Yeah, and we see the militia kind of sieging down the Uvu. They shouldn't kill this. And then we see Horseman kind of going around. Looks like he might... Maybe Leenock's going to try to deny this stone, but I think it's too late. By the time he can deny this stone, it's going to be...
I mean,
Beasty's
BC
going to
has
have enough
stone already.
And he's going to just call 2 militia to stop it as well.
Yeah. And he is trying to TC on the bottom side, the boar berries, and securing a big gold with that as well.
And I think he'll be able to. And while I didn't notice his tree line, that tree line spawned very thin. Little walkway there. So, nice TC spot, I'd say.
I mean, he's playing against a Mongol, so there's no way the Mongol player can wall him off, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mongols isn't going to wall here. And, you know, actually, now that I think about it, it's a little surprising that Leenock chose Mongols on this map. Typically, you see China, Rus, or you would think Delhi.
Yeah, but do you know the civs they have?
I don't. I unfortunately don't have the link for that, so I think they did it over Discord.
So... Yeah. I mean, overall, Mongol is not bad here, I think. But I think there are way better picks.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, this is core casting with me today. And as expected, you know, Leenock going for survival techniques. Although
the horsemen are coming, but the TC will be up by the time he's down there, and yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything, right? Like, these aren't going to get a kill.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's just 2 TC versus 1. Already 4 villages down. And Leenock is trying to go fast castle here, but the Roos can kind of hold, or kind of get the same timing, even though they're on 2 TC. And so yeah, he should be fine.
Yeah, and we see an outpost coming on over in the middle of the map. You know, very standard kind of Mongol things. You just want that vision, not have to worry about. You know, that's one thing about Hidden Forest, right? If you don't have a tower or anything, you can just get caught off guard, and it can really hurt. So.
Yeah, but it's just overall a good tower location, right? You get a lot of vision, you get the gem aura, and just secures a lot of area in the middle.
We have the first knight out from Beasty, and it looks like Leenock... Well, it looked like Leenock was going to go fast castle, but then you look at his stable, and he decided to make 3 sets of horsemen by the double. So...
Yeah, but why would you make horsemen versus knights? That's like kind of a weird approach for me.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of a very interesting decision. I'm not sure why he decided to do that. He was close to castle. He still is. If he actually canceled... Oh, no, he still needs the gold. But...
He's making a tower now on the gold, so he should be fine. But
yeah, but it's kind of a far back tower.
Yeah, but I don't see a game plan here for him. He wants to go fast castle, but what then? He wants to make knights, but the Roos player can just make barracks. And now Beasty is going for double archery range, making archers already, and yeah, he's probably just trying to deny the gold here, right? Because no gold, and you get nothing out of castle edge.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah. Very interesting decision by Leenock for those horsemen. I mean, he does have more horsemen. I mean, you know, 6 horsemen versus a knight. I believe horsemen do win, but second knight on the way. Both are a bit weak, actually, but I still think they would almost win. You don't want to take that as a horseman either way.
Yeah, and he could still call the militia, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, we kind of see Leenock scouting about. He is going to or sorry, Beasty is scouting about, and he's going to save his scout thanks to the Kremlin. And he calls some militia. Moving forward, looks like he's going to try to deny this gold. Leenock does have the resources to go Castle Age, so that should be dropped down any moment now, and there we go.
Yeah. But what then? He has 350 stone in the bank. He can double produce 1 batch of knights, but what after?
Yeah, exactly. He really should have saved his stone, I feel like, because, you know, horsemen are 120 stone, so those 3 sets he made was almost 2 sets of lancers
Exactly.
of double production.
And Roos has knights himself, right? They are weaker, but um, they have 40 HP less, but he has way more knights already on the field. So even though they are feudal knights, they will still trade okay versus castle knights.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, now, to be fair, BC only has 3 knights, and 2 of them are pretty weak. So, 2 Castle Age knights, I'm pretty sure, would beat Beasty's 3 knights.
Yeah, but Beast is aging himself, so
Oh, he
yeah.
is. You're right. I didn't even notice that. He already has the resources to age, so he's already denied a ton of gold, and he's not that far behind Leenock's Castle Age. So this doesn't feel good as Leenock.
Yeah, and he's 13 villages ahead, right? The double TC is up for a while. He has great food sources. He's gathering the boar. He walled up the right side. He also blocks out the relics, and yeah. Um, but that's the problem here as Mongol. Like, if you go second TC as Mongol, Roos will out castle time you, and then they will go for the relics. They will be ahead anyway, and Roos is just better as Mongols right now if you have no market on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're seeing the 2 knights kind of being pushed back. Some walls coming up from Beasty here. Very expected play, you know. He's going to wall in a relic. Not.
What do you think about the high trade house? What will it give?
Oh, it's not going to be much. 100.
I go with 97.
You going with 97? Okay. 101. Let's see. Oh! Fucking called it.
Look at this tournament host. He's so good at this game.
Wow, I called that 101 gold. What? You know, this is why I'm a professional streamer, professional caster, because
Yeah,
I can predict that
stop
stuff.
with the tournaments. You should go the Drongo route and stop playing, and then you.
Yeah, that was a nice call from me, not gonna lie. And now let's kind of take a look at what Leenock's doing here. So Leenock, you know, does have the step readout. So he does have an extra gold income, right? He is grabbing the relics as well. He's grabbing his first relic. I really like this. He's actually going to secure this first relic, one of the far ones.
Yep.
So he's guaranteed 2 relics so far.
Yeah, but Beast is covering the Novan relic. He will get the other 2s because they're kind of in his base and walled off. So Beastie should end up getting 3 relics here. And he's 18 villagers ahead, so...
Yeah, we do see a second town center coming down for Leenock, though. So he's definitely, you know, not out. He's,
yeah, but he's so behind already, right? And he will lose the map control here in a second, because Roos will just have more army. Then he has to make a pest transition, because he has no more food otherwise. And yeah, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, and we still only see 1 stable from Leenock. He hasn't added any other infrastructure at this point. Which is, you know... If Spearmen start, you know, because Roost Knights are going to be better, especially once he gets his Boyar's Fortitude. And he's going to have... You know, he's going to be able to add crossbows, which I'm assuming... Which is exactly what he's doing. So crossbow knight versus just knights. What's going to win? Well, spoiler alert, it's not going to be the just knights. At least usually.
Unless you have 20 more, but
yeah.
Yeah.
On the bright side, though, Leenock is going to secure a second relic, and he might be able to secure a third. He did kill that knight that was guarding the relic over on the top left, so...
Yeah, he will get 3 here, but... Yeah, he will get 3 relics, but he's down 20 villagers, so...
Yeah, and he is, he's getting the sacred sites as well, so he's doing everything he can at this point to try to come back. He's actually taking a good fight over here on the left. I actually think this was a premature move out by Beasty, and he's going to lose his crossbows.
Yeah, there's still some horsemen, and they are obviously really good versus the ranged units. So far he's taking good fights, but it will go worse from this point, right?
Well, and you know, I said that was a bad fight for Beasty, and yeah, he lost his crossbows, but he ended up actually winning that fight overall.
He's taking down the tower in the middle, so Leenock is losing vision and the movement speed here.
And he is...
And, yeah.
Ooh, he might not get that third relic. Beasty's looking for it. He knows.
The knight is coming. The warrior monk is straight behind it, and he will lose that one. And there are 2 more wolves on the left behind the relic. So he could actually go to 500 here without any problem.
Yeah, and he does have a warrior monk, so Beasty is going to grab that relic, which is going to put him at an advantage and guarantee 3 to 2.
Yeah, and what did I tell you? Leenock has to make the passage transition. He's losing the map control, and that's why. Yeah, he still has only one production building, right? He has one stable, and that's it. He's dropping down one archery range right now and a blacksmith, but if you
Yeah,
compare it to BC on the other side, there is way more production, and he's
yeah,
also making his farm transition already.
yeah. 15 minutes into the game, you want to have more than one stable. That's it. One stable, one archery range. We do see a market coming down. You know, he is floating some gold, but you know that's not what you want to be on at this point in the game as any sip. You generally
Yeah,
want to be at, you know, at least 3 to 4 production buildings minimum.
and now it's 18 to 5 army, so yeah, Leenock is in big trouble.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Yeah, the military count almost four times in favor of Beasty. We are seeing more archery ranges and a barracks come out from Leenock, so he's starting to get his production out. And if we
What
look,
happened to your sound? Oh, now it's better, okay.
I was like, what?
No, your sound was a bit off, but now it's back.
Oh, weird. Maybe just
And
a...
BC is already dropping a siege workshop. Probably gonna go into Mangonels here.
Yeah, I mean, that's what... You know, with siege against the no siege of Leenock, and Leenock, he did get the advanced siege engineering, so he can build siege. Of course, he still needs to have the units to do so.
Yeah, and Beastie is already dropping a keep here on the left sacred side, securing gold, wood, gold, stone, and the sacred side. So yeah, just playing the long game here, typical Beastie play. And yeah, he's in a great spot. He's ahead economically. He has more relics. He's gonna get potentially 3 sacred sites. And yeah.
Yeah, and so we actually see a second siege workshop coming out, and we're seeing Springles come out. So he's kind of preparing for the building siege of Leenock. And, you know, BC may not realize, you know, just how far ahead he is in every way right now. I'm sure he knows he's ahead and he's feeling good, but I don't think he realizes that he's got almost triple the military and 20 villager lead. And he is killing the boar at the top left, by the way. So that's another 75
and
gold to his bounty.
Put him to 505 right now. So he is at the 500 bounty, unlocking the tier 3. So, yeah. Can't get better as a ruse.
Yeah, and the high trade house jumped up to 135. So that's a nice 34 extra gold per minute from that. And then about to have 3 sacred sites as well. You know, blacksmith-wise, we see Boyer's Fortitude finally coming in. A little bit late. I thought that would be done sooner, but we are still seeing it. And let's kind of take a look here, see what else is going on. It looks like that outpost in the center is going to be denied by a knight. You know, Leenock's trying to find a place to raid, but the thing is, BC had no intention of getting
just
that.
Walled up.
Yeah, and he isn't going for that deer on the left-hand side. He's just not going to deal with it. He's decided to just do his farm transition instead, play it safe.
Yeah.
And if you just look
BC is killing some villagers in the woodline here for Leenock.
Oh, didn't even see that.
Those 3 villagers went down.
The first 3 villagers of the game. So now a 23 villager lead, a 15 military lead. And just kind of...
And just look at the income. BC is ahead everywhere. And it's not even close. It's far ahead.
Yeah, he's got double the gold income, almost double the wood, and nearly double the food as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is a spot where as Mongols... I mean, this matchup's tough for Mongols. We've already said that. So you're not feeling good anyway, but I'm sure Leenock knows how... You know, he's definitely not feeling good about his position at the moment.
Yeah, he is in a really awful position. And yeah, BC will just probably... he has 4 Springles already, making a 5th one. There's not a single siege unit for Leenock at this point, and yeah.
Yeah, what does BC think this is? Back in before Season 1 when the game came out? You know, making only Springles?
I mean, if you have 5 Springles, they can also one-shot a crossbow, right?
Can 5 one-shot? I'm sure, I actually don't know.
Yeah, a crossbow has 80 HP, and the Springle does 30 damage, so even 3 Springles are enough to one-shot 1 crossbow.
Yeah, that's true. 2 can almost kill 1, but not quite. And, Leenock might lose a few more villagers. He was trying to make another outpost, but, you know, BC's kind of on top of that. He keeps denying a lot of these outposts.
It's just a warrior monk in the end, but doing 11 damage will kill those villagers eventually.
And we see a raid on the right, gets a longbow, and there's not really enough defense here. Now, BC does pull back, but he could have definitely committed to that and probably killed a few lancers as well. But just playing it smart, doesn't want to overcommit to anything.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to charge into a spearman crossbow knight mix. So yeah, he's just playing it safe and probably the correct call.
Yeah, now I will say, the military is evening out now. Leenock is only 3 behind now, instead of what he was 20 or 30 before. We do see a keep coming up on the right hand as well.
Yeah, it's evening out, but it's the same history in game 1. There is no siege, and there are 2 mangonels already for Beasty, and he will just get 1 or 2 more mangonels here, most likely, and then he will just push.
Yeah, so
and
we
again,
say...
there's no answer for Leenock.
Yeah, we say it's an even military count, but in reality, we're not counting the 2 mangonels. And Leenock, he's not going to have a way to destroy that. He's still not making any siege. I don't even think he knows what BC's unit composition is at the moment. I don't think he scouted it at all.
Yeah, but he will see soon. He sees the Springles are firing on the tower here, and now he's like, oh shit, I think I need some siege.
Yeah, and he's got the wood and gold. He's got 1,500 gold in the bank, 1,100 gold. And let's kind of see, are we going to see siege anywhere? Still not seeing it, so... Yeah, Leenock might be able to catch these knights. That would be kind of a nice...
More villagers are going down, by the way. I don't know where, but 5 more additional villagers went down. And now we are almost 30 villagers behind for Leenock.
I'm guessing a raid in the north, most likely.
Yeah, Beasty's just doing his good old multitasking. He's attacking a little bit in the top, he's attacking a little bit in the north, in the south, and the west. East. And yeah, he has still a decent amount of army in the middle.
Yeah, look at those knights by the wood. He could totally have gotten some vill kills there if BC was paying attention.
Yeah, and again, Leenock actually grabbed textiles this game, so he's aware of the technology. He simply just forgot it in game 1. And BC is going Imperial Age, by the way. So,
yeah, with the high armory, BC's just playing his game. He's one of those players that is more than willing to sit back, relax, just do his thing. He's very comfortable in the late game.
I mean, he's probably aware of the fact that he's ahead. His TC was up earlier, he has more relics, he has more sacred sites, he has map control, and now he will just get the siege upgrade because Leenock is finally making Springles himself. But again, roller shutter triggers, and then Leenock siege is kinda done.
Yeah, he's feeling really good about it. And he's got another... Look at those Lancers, they're just... now a keep comes up, And yeah, Leenock GG's. Yeah. He knows. Yeah. He's like, alright, I'm dead.
He's aware. GG.
GG. Definitely, very rough game for Leenock. I mean, I don't think there was one point in that game where, we're kind of like, okay, Leenock's in a good spot. Just from the beginning, that was rough.
There was a single point where Leenock was even in a decent spawn. He was down 3 villagers at the 3-minute mark already. So yeah.
And if you look at the economy, I mean, typically Mongols is the one that gathers more gold, right? And Beasty almost had double the gold income. Not quite, but almost, and just ahead, way far ahead in every other resource.
Yeah. And next game, we have Ottomans versus the Malians.
Ooh, that'll be an interesting one. Is Leenock Ottomans?
Yes. And it will be on Dry Arabia.
Ooh, Dry Arabia. Okay.
I think this is actually a decent pick against Mali. I think Ottoman is like one of the civs that can probably beat Mali. But then again, it's still Mali, right?
Yeah, you're not in the game, are you?
No, I'm not in the game. I'm waiting for the invite, and I just received it.
Okay. Yeah, so... Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where Ottoman... Like, one of the few civs in the game... There's 2 civs, I think, in the game that can beat Malian. I still favor Malian, but that would be Ottomans and China. I feel like those are the only 2 civs that have an okay-ish chance to win the game.
They have a shot, yeah.
Okay, so before I do anything here... Before we go into this 3rd game, I just want to... I'm just going to let Vortex know that he can play his games tomorrow. I think it's going to be fine. There's going to be a big delay anyway. There's, I think, 5 Outback Octagon games tomorrow, so I'm okay with the delay here. because he's not going to be waiting on anyone there. Okay, so just let Vortex know that, so we should be good to just jump right into game number 3 here.
Let's do it.
Why? What's up with Malians? Warrior Scouts are really busted at the moment, and then there's Farimba on top of it. Farimba is just really, really strong. And with the early Warrior Scouts, you just secure yourself Castle Age. There's like really no way to punish it, because by the time you can, you're in Castle Age as Malians, and then you just make units out of the Farimba.
And we're actually close to jump into the game already. 10 seconds only.
Yeah, well, I delayed it to talk with Vortex real quick, so this is was all part of the plan. By the way, I think there were some subs during that last game. Thank you for the subs. Sorry I didn't thank you before, but do appreciate it. And okay, so we're just going to pause again for a second here. And now let's begin game number 3. On the bottom, we have Beasty as the Malians. And at the top left, we have Leenock as, or sorry, Beasty as the yeah, I said that correctly. Leenock as the Ottoman Empire. And as we were saying earlier pre-game, this is one of the few civs in this matchup, one of the few civs that has a chance versus Malians right now at the pro level. And the reason being is because Ottomans have a very strong feudal age, and their military schools allows them to really pump out units. So if there's a chance of beating Malians, you know, Leenock picked the best civ to do it. I think China is the next best after Ottomans.
I think Delhi has a shot as well, but I think it's only these 3 that can really maybe beat Malians. But yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
feel
so
like the Malian player has to make a mistake, even though they
I agree.
to even lose the game.
And I'm expecting Leenock to be very aggressive here in the feudal age. I would anticipate, you know, we're already seeing a military school come out, very standard opening, gonna, you know, harass that gold pit mine over there, and then we'll see what he does after that. Will it be archers? Will it be? I mean, archers obviously. What am I doing? What am I doing saying the obvious? How many Spahi will he add should be the real question.
What did you say? Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying obvious stuff about what was going to happen there. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything exciting. All right. And we see, you know, the first spearman about halfway done. In about 30 seconds, it'll go down to the pit mine. He may be able to get one house, maybe, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to or not.
Yeah, but even if he gets one house, like the Malian player will just make an archery range, make another house again, and nothing happened. I mean, a house is 25 wood. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty cheap.
And again, the house has got a HP buff. They have 500 HP now. So a single spearman needs 50 hits to take down one house. And Mali has like a decent age up timing because they usually age with 5. And then he will maybe... I mean, he could even just make a stable and just...
that's kind of what
hitting the spearman with his scouts.
That's what I suspect will happen, I feel like. Because at most, you know, Leenock will have 2 or 3 spearmen, but the funny thing is, Warrior Scouts do fine with that. You just have to micro. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and we all know Beasty is decent at microing, so he should be fine.
Yep, and we're seeing the Mantiquary, which is what I would expect. Again, very common. You don't really see the trade network landmark anymore because the Warrior Scouts are more than than enough to defend for you to defend yourself.
Mali is just that simple. Like everyone is doing the same, and it's just about execution. And even if you execute it bad, you're still gonna win most of the games.
It is pretty crazy to watch. Like, you'll see Malian players take bad fight after bad fight, and yet their military advantage just never goes away unless it gets to Imperial Age. And even then, it doesn't go away. It's always remarkable because you're like, oh man, you know, Malian's got demolished, not even close. Surely that's game over. And then you're like, oh no, Malian has double the military again. I don't know how that happened.
Good old Malians.
And we're seeing the typical standard landmark from Leenock, the twin minaret madrasa. This is just the Barry landmark. Now, to be fair, doing the trade landmark as Ottomans would not be, you know, a bad move in the fact that, you know, you still can get that passive gold, but you're rarely going to see it, especially when you're going to do a feudal age aggression.
Yeah, and especially when you play versus Mali, like the safe food is so important because going out on the map against Mali is never a good sign. So yeah, definitely the correct choice here.
Yep. And as expected, here comes the stable. Warrior Scout upgrade should be clicked any moment now. Actually decides to make a scout first before the... Which, I mean, it only takes 15 seconds to get Warrior Scouts, so no surprise there.
I mean, he can't take a fight with one scout against two spearmen anyway, so he's gonna lose that one house, and that's about it.
Yep, and here comes the Warrior Scout upgrade.
I mean, he has to drop an archery range anyway. I think you cannot go like pure naked castle age against Ottomans. So I feel like he has to make a few units at least.
And a slight mistake from Leenock here. We do see him building that, you know, look at that sweet mining camp. He could have saved 50, wouldn't done that at first. Unfortunately, he realized a little too late about that, so now he has 2 mining camps.
Yeah, and now look at the scouts. Both 1 HP. We just look away 1 second and full HP again. And almost 1 spearman is down already.
Yep, and he has more, right? He has a 3rd Warrior Scout incoming, so you're just going to see these spearmen die. We see a 3rd one, and actually, you know, Beast... Oh, I thought Beast was going to intercept that. And he's trying to take the fight here, but... Oh. A little bit of miss micro, but 1 spearman goes down.
The first spearman goes down.
Yep, and then he's just going to retreat. Because look how fast they heal. Already back to 18
you thought
health.
you almost killed a scout? And no, already back up to 20 HP.
Yep.
And yeah, he's just going for the second pit mine now. He's like, I really don't care about your spearman. I have count. Oh, first scout actually goes down.
Scout does go down. A little bit of a mistake.
But again, it's 90 food and Mali have infinite food, so who cares about 1 scout, right?
Exactly. And we're seeing, okay, so Leenock's doing something interesting. He still has 4 villagers on gold. You know, the 3 on stone's no surprise. You want to get the military schools. And
he's getting all the eco upgrades right now.
That's so Leenock. He loves his military. I mean,
broadaxe.
Broadaxe is definitely a necessity. Yeah. You need that upgrade as Ottomans. I mean, as most civs, but Ottomans especially when you're gonna do feudal aggression.
Yeah, and Beast is just doing Malian things, making cows, getting the passive gold income, and we'll just go Castle Age here in the next 3 or 4 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, because you're not going to see any other units. These warrior scouts, you know, they're already harassing. They're forcing Leenock to abandon his stone and gold because he only has 1 spearman. And 5 warrior scouts, that's more than enough. You want to have at least 4 spearmen, because I think it's 4 spearmen that one-shot a warrior scout. And so that's typically what you need.
These are still Dark Age spearmen, right? So he's dropping a barracks now. He desperately needs the spearman upgrade here.
I completely forgot that they hadn't been upgraded, so there's that too. So I think you need 4 feudal age ones. Oh, and he
just lost a scout.
Yeah, and Leenock used it on the imams for his first vizier point. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's too bad in this matchup because you kind of have to defend anyways with these stupid scouts. So, I mean, they heal, you heal. I guess it's okay versus Mali.
Yeah, the only downside... Ooh, and the Beasty does lose one of his warrior scouts. The only downside to it that I don't like about it is, you know, he's going to run out of food under his town center, you know, somewhat soon. He's only got 2 or 3 sheep left, it looks like. So he'll have to take the berries, and then he'll have to move out to the deer. And that's when he'll be most vulnerable to these warrior scout raids.
I don't think you go to deer at all, to be honest. He will just go for his home berries here.
No, I meant after the berries.
And Beasty is going up to Castle Age now. So, yeah, a decent timing.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you'd expect, because that's what these warrior scouts do. By the time you have enough to deal with them, you know, Farimba's going to be out, and so we'll kind of see what Leenock's planning here. He is throwing down a stable.
Yeah, and he has pure spearman right now, so Beasty's just going to make archers, and yeah.
The funny thing is, Leenock is floating a lot of food and wood right now. So I feel like his military production...
to go castle as well.
That's what I wonder, but that feels like such a mistake.
Yeah. I feel like this game is already over, even though it's not. Because I don't see the plan here of Leenock. He's making pure spearmen, he's making another scout. But Beasty is already aging up, and the first archers are about to get produced in the next 30 seconds. And there's no Sipahi, there's nothing.
Yeah, because Leenock doesn't have any military production. Like, yeah, he's 2 military schools, a barracks, and a stable, but that's not enough. At this point, you generally have 3 archery ranges, a stable, a barracks, and then the 2 military schools, and then you're just pumping out units. But I don't think Leenock's going for a. I don't think he's planning on doing a feudal attack here. I think he's just going to.
Yeah, but what is his plan? He has 3 guys on gold. So what are you trying to do here?
Yeah, that's a good
He's
question.
getting blacksmith upgrades right now. He's getting ranged armor, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Yep, we see, you know, veteran archers coming out for Beasty, and 5 archers are about to pop out in 5 seconds, and yeah, Leenock just doesn't have any like units. He just has 14 spearmen. Definitely, yeah, I'm definitely not feeling good for Leenock at this spot, because at 9:30 he should be attacking this gold mine with a, you know, Beasty should be the one being pressured right now, not Leenock.
Yeah, exactly. I think at this point you can have like 12, 13 archers if you see Pai already, and you can pressure the gold. And now he's going to lose the first villager here on gold. Oh no, he's not. Never mind. It's the spearman. Yeah, but at this point the Marlin player should definitely defend and not be the aggressor. He's
Yeah.
moving out now, but he has 2 Sipahi.
Yeah,
And
he has no archers. There's nothing for the archers of, like the
he's
2
going to force some
Spahi.
idle time here, but
Yeah.
that's all about it.
Yeah, and it's not, yeah, and it won't be for long. We see Blacksmith is already +1 has gone in for Beasty.
And he's also starting to pick up the relics. First monk is in production. So yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. It looks like Leenock is just going to go Spahi Spear. It doesn't look like he's planning on making any archers whatsoever.
He has his Mechta now, so he gets additional ranged ammo here. But again, these are veteran archers, so they have their +1 already, so it's not looking good.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. I'm trying to think of a way of what Leenock can do here, you know, because generally, if he was pressuring him now, right, if he could keep BC off of gold, you know, that negates the Farimba. That's the power of the Farimba. You need the gold. So your goal is typically to deny the gold. If you do that, you know, that Farimba's useless, and then BC just dies because he has no units to produce.
Yeah, but Leenock is also placing all his production forward. He's going to get pressured off gold here as soon as Beasty moves out. And if Beasty's making a ram, he's going to lose all his production buildings here.
Yep, and we do see a relic. Ooh, very close.
That was actually close, yeah.
It was closer than I thought it was going to be.
But yeah, again, Beasty is just waiting. He's getting his +2 attack upgrade. He's making more and more archers, and then he will just move out. And even though he has Sipahi, he will have a lot of archers himself with +2, and now he's making his sofa. So yeah.
And, you know, when I think about it, I think this has to do with Leenock's lack of playing lately. I don't think he knows the current meta for Malians. I don't think he knew the... Because when Golden League 2 ended, there wasn't much Malians at the time. You know, the tournament was already over. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he's aware of the current strategy, and that's why he's doing this mass spear Spahi thing. And oh, okay. Does deny it.
It was actually close again.
Yeah, that was, you know, I'm clenching my butt there, like, oh no, Leenock.
And the healing is actually doing work here, but Beasty should just snipe these 2 Imam, and yeah. Then there is no more healing.
Yeah, okay.
But again, we can see already the armor number is Beasty is leading now.
And we have sofas coming out now, and these are veteran sofas with the armor upgrade. Now, to be fair, Leenock does have a bunch of spearmen, so that's not really going to be a threat to him. But those archers, on the other hand, they are.
I feel like you don't even have to make a sofa at this point. You have archers with +2 damage upgrade, and you can almost one-shot these Sipahi here.
Yeah, and here we go. Nice little push by Beasty. Look at that, yeah. Already almost 2 dead Spahi. Now, actually, oh, man, I don't know. I don't know who's going to win this fight. I think either way, Beasty's going to be fine even if he loses this fight.
Yeah, even if he loses the fight, like, the units will come again and again and again. And Leenock is running out of food. You can see him running out on the map now.
And he wins that fight handily. It wasn't even close. Like, tried to make it sound close, but it wasn't even close at all. Leenock's army is just melting. He's trying to make more Spahi, but that's not what he needs right now. And yeah, and Leenock just GG's.
Yeah. GG.
Yeah, and I think that match just kind of showed like. Let's just be honest here. That wasn't really like. Don't get me wrong. Malians is overpowered. Malians should win this series no matter what. You know, I'm not going to deny that. But that game, Leenock's build was really not that good.
Yeah, it was completely the wrong approach here.
He tried to do some weird strategy. His buildings were late, or his military production building was late. He was floating a lot of early resources. Like that game in general was very. It was just very. That was definitely Leenock's probably shakiest match, I'd say. Like, yeah, his Mongols game wasn't that great because again, you know, it's a rough matchup. His game one was great, but in this one, it definitely didn't feel like Leenock had a solid plan of what he was going to do.